Hey, welcome back to Unblocking Your Purpose. I am your host, Jada. I am so happy that you are spending a little bit of time with me, whether you're watching on the YouTube channel or if I'm all up in your ear, whether you are new or if you are returning. Welcome and thank you for being here this week. So, this episode topic is a little heavy. I'm going to try to just kind of talk through it. I would really like feedback because I'm not going to always come with like things that are like always exciting and happy because that's not the way life goes, right? So there's ebbs and there's flows, and we just try to learn and get better. We try to find the tools to help us as we experience the more lower lows, right? So that we can just get better and to work through them. And so this is one of those topics that I have grappled with and probably will continue to, right? Because as we go through this journey of motherhood, and for those of you who have been through it, like you have older kids and you are gracing me with your presence, please chime in to let us know any advice that you may have, especially for our new or newer moms. Um, because I know we all have probably experienced something that has left us with a little bit of guilt, right? Like, ooh, maybe I'm working too much, or maybe I yelled too much, or maybe I did what I never thought I would do if I was ever blessed to become a mom. But we experience these moments, and we just have to know that we will make it through. So this week's topic is when love feels heavy. And I'm talking about mom rage. I am talking about resentment. And then I am talking about God's grace because that is what's there all the time to help us get through it when it happens. The verse, Psalm 103, 8, New International Version. The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love. And I liked this verse because he is the example that we should be aiming for, right? And he got angry too, right? We've done things to anger God in this thing called human nature, right? But he still loved us enough, and he still remained compassionate, and he still remained gracious, and he is still there for us. And I feel that it's funny. As I continue to go through motherhood, there are things that happen, and I'll like be talking to my brother, and I'm like, I can't believe this happened, and if they would just do blah blah blah, or had it done da da da, and he's like, mm-hmm. Don't you think that's what God thinks about us as his children? I'm like, okay, so that is becoming more clear for me as I continue to go on this journey. And that's what I would share in terms of this verse because he is compassionate and he is gracious. And guess what, mama? So are you. So am I. Yes, we have those moments where we done told them kids time after time after time, right? So this whole gentle parenting, I do try to start there. Like, I'm gonna give you the warning or give you the direction. Hey, blah blah blah. No attitude, not mean, but y'all can't hear me. Give it to you again. By that third time, I am now getting into a little bit of like mom rage, right? And I don't want to be, a mama monster. And I'm sure you don't either. And not that I should label myself that way, and I'm not labeling you that way, but just understanding the picture I'm trying to paint, right? We will try to do so much and try to be so compassionate with them, of like, hey, even if it's kind of like tough love, we're trying to direct them and shape them. And it's like, it just falls on deaf ears. Am I the only one? I bet I'm not, but I am not the only one. And so it gets to that point where you're just like, what else can I do? What else can I say? How else can I say it? And then, like, for my babies, yes, I know we all believe our babies are the best, and we should, and you should. But I'll be like, man, because I'll be like, oh, they're so cute, or they're so pretty, and they're so smart. And I'm like, yeah, they better be. But because sometimes the way they act, I'm like, at least they have some other things, right? You feel me? But I just, I get upset. I'm just gonna be real. honest and raw on this episode, and you let me know if you're okay with it or not. This is what it is today. But I get upset because they are super cute, but they're super smart. And I believe most of the children today are super smart, right? They learn things quicker. They're just computers and phones and all the things. I know a phone is kind of a computer, but they learn all of these things so fast. And so then when you get ready to talk to them and then they're having dialogue, right? Like, does your kid communicate? Like, we're communicating. And then they do something and you're just like, okay, let me not talk for you. I'm like, so you can tell me you understand you hear me, you understand what I'm saying, you comprehend it, and then you're still choosing to do whatever you want to do, you know? And then I'll have that moment of like, Jada, they're 5 and 8, like they're not adults. So for me, I beat myself up and I get into that resentment because I'm like, why am I expecting so much of them? And they're probably not even capable. And I am pretty sure they don't even know how to intentionally really do this, even though I think a lot of them kids in general just have a lot of negotiating skills, right? Again, am I the only one? But it's like they're not intentionally doing this, but still, yet it triggers things within us to kind of have those explosive moments, to have those, or maybe you shut down. Maybe you just walk away from it. Whatever that is, where you're not feeling like you're in your most proud mama moment because you're triggered and you're responding, and then you feel bad about it. And you have that mama guilt and just sad, mad, frustrated, all the things, right? I'll share a story with you. It was during the summer, and it was like a day where like all the kids, just all of them, were acting up. Attitude from the oldest. Girl twin was crying for whatever reason. Boy twin had gotten in trouble at daycare. And y'all, I called my brother in tears, in tears, crying. And I'm like, I cannot do this. I can't. Like I had just had it. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. And I am at the point where I don't think I can do anything. Maybe I was just the vessel to get them here. I mean, I've shared that same sentiment with my therapist when I'm really going through it. Like, maybe I was just the vessel to get them on earth. Like, as much as we think we have power in getting pregnant and having babies, not really. But, I've heard of stories where unfortunately a mom or a dad isn't in a child's life, and they're like young adults or adults at this point, and they're just like, why didn't they love me, why didn't they want me here, and then I heard someone say, maybe, told a young man, maybe his purpose was to get you here even though he didn't stay. So I have these things, these thoughts, like dark thoughts in my mind, like maybe I'm not cut out for this. And I'm so angry and I'm just sad and frustrated because one, I've let these little people trigger me and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Two, I'm saying things that are hurtful because I'm hurt. And three, just feeling bad. And so I am sharing that with you because if you have been there, if you have been where you're just like, is this what motherhood is? Am I doing it right? Or you've done it, like you've reacted, and now you're like, am I going to scar them for life? Are they going to remember these things? And so I am just here to say that whether it's you or me and how we react, is it right? No. But are we able to recognize it? Are we able to go to our little people and say, you know what, mommy made a mistake? And I will tell you, I have done that over and over. Whenever I've done something and it didn't sit well with me, it was not their fault. I get down on their level. Mr. Sister-in-law pointed that out. Get down on their level, eye to eye, sincerely apologize and explain as much as you can for them to understand, and then try to do better. So I am just saying, like, if you've been there, if you're there right now, you're not a bad mom. You're not. You are human. You're in this flesh. You're going to feel the feels. You're going to go through things. I know for me, a lot of times, like, things would happen at work, which I had no control over. And then I'm coming home and I'm spewing that on my babies or my husband even. Um, and yes, those things happen. We just have to make sure that we get it under control, maybe get to the root cause of why we think this is happening. So when we see it coming, we can then react different. But I just wanted to point it out because I just want you to know that you are doing great. Even when we make our mistakes, that's when His grace comes in. And He will be there to pick you up and to show you a different way. The Holy Spirit will speak to you and be like, mm-mm, shut that down. Don't say that. Like, I promise it will get better if that is what you want it to do, and get better and find different ways. But I just wanted to have this moment because I'm like, I can't be the only one who experiences feeling bad when I'm supposed to be the example. It's like us yelling at them to stop yelling. There are people that still believe in corporal punishment, and you're like spanking them and you're like, don't hit. Like, okay, how does that make sense? So, how do we, one, forgive ourselves for being human, for maybe making a decision or making a choice or doing something that we don't really want to do, but forgiving ourselves for that, and then really being intentional to make sure that if that comes up again, or because sometimes that test will come back around, okay? How do we do it different? Or if something similar comes up, what can we do? Start stocking yourself with those tools. I mean, for me, I get to a point now where I'm like, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm going to talk it through. Because guess what? Y'all have to understand that you have to be responsible for decisions that you make. So you do something great, mommy will reward you, applaud you, yay, yay, yay. You do something that you shouldn't do, you're going to get a consequence. There's going to be a punishment. And that's it. I have to understand and remove like thinking like, oh, their action is something against me. That may not be the case. Something else I've heard, sometimes they're just tired. You've heard my girls are in dance. We are busy. They're in school now. Even the kindergartners, man, they have a whole lot of classes. And then it's like they're up all day, they're at after school, if you have them in extracurriculars, and sometimes they're just tired. But we'll take that and we'll think, oh, they're doing something against me. And I'm just here to say, sis, that may not be the case. So give yourself grace, give them grace. Look at it for what it is. Take a step back if you can. Maybe even ask them so they can start to work through what might have triggered them so we can help them. Because I have learned that with Olivia, she will come to me now. She's like, Mommy, can we tap? And we'll do a tapping session to just calm her down and to reset. So, providing them with opportunities to start working through their own things, understanding, yes, just like us, they're going to make mistakes. And then we have to be the ones to continue to lead by example. But, Mama, you're doing great, and you're going to make mistakes, and then we're going to apologize, and we're going to learn, and we're going to show them so that they can also learn that it is okay to forgive. It is okay to say I'm sorry. It is okay to make a mistake and to be resilient and get up and try again, and that His grace is always with us to help us through. So that is what I wanted to share. Again, for my moms that are listening and you've made it through, maybe your kids are older, maybe your grandparents, like, please share with us so we can have more tools and skills and just, in our kit bags so that we can be better moms. And just forgive yourself if you need to. Not that you need permission, but forgive yourself if there's anything that you're still holding on to, because when we hold on to that, it will still pop back up from our subconscious. And we need to clear all of that so that we can continue to be the mamas that we have been purposed to be and to be the examples that they deserve. All right. So do that. Please share with me. I hope that this has not offended anybody and really has just motivated you to keep pushing because you're doing great. All right. So until next week, I will see you then. Love you. Bye.